My missus wanted to redesign every room in the house. Pinterest open, samples everywhere, zero plan, classic. So I did what any reasonable person would do who spent their last 2 years of their life in Notion. I built her a Notion system. 4 tools, rooms, mood board, shopping, to-dos, all connected, all automatic, no more chaos. So for some context, I flip properties and work as a buyer's agent in the UK. I build complete operating systems in Notion, not just simple templates, proper systems. This is the design layer of that. The Renovation Planner OS is actually inside here, and you can get up to 70% only if you find this hub useful and you review it. You then unlock the coupon, which you can use, which is time sensitive. But let's get into this whole thing. Now, this is your dashboard, your HQ. This is where all the information syncs together so you can see in plain sight. Now, this hub is made up of 3 pillars. You've got spaces, which also acts as rooms, and you've got inspiration, and you've got tasks. Now, it's not one of those Notion pages where you scroll endlessly and end up in a different browser. Not necessary. Everything is simple. And the reason why I designed it this way is because if you wanted to add another room here, you can see everything in plain sight and not get lost. Now, you can easily replace the floor plan by tapping here and hitting that button there. And of course, you can go in and out if you really want to. There you go. Now, when it comes to this list here, it just shows you what you need to purchase, and each item will have a status. Now, if I click on here, I'll show you that the status here is purchase. But if I change it, it will remove it from this list. It's just to show you very quickly what you need to buy for your project. Now, for example, I move that, it disappears. Perfect example. Same principle here. This is just the artwork that you have shortlisted. And if I tap on here, you'll see the shortlist is the status. But if I change it to collecting, it disappears right there. Now, when it comes to here, these are different views. Shows you what you're doing today. Where did that come up? When it comes to this section, this is your task list database. Now, you'll see different views here. Today, overdue, this week, and items that are complete. And I'll give you an example. So let's just say that you are in the process of touching this wood. You go over here and you press complete. Once you've completed, it will move to this view here, and you see you can log the date right there. Now, this is just a vision of how you want the room, and it will break down exactly how you can add these images to each room / space. But let's move on to the first pillar, which is spacing. So every pillar, 1, 2, 3, comes with a navigation box on the left-hand side, along with shortcuts. Each of them gains access to a database. So if I want to go to the mood board, I can easily see all of this information here, and I can go back. These buttons are just a way for you to easily navigate without getting lost in the system. Now, if you found this useful, please press this button and review it. It's very quick and easy to do, and you can get up to 70% or 50% or 30% depending on how lucky you are when you spin the wheel. And you can get access to prints right there. Now, when it comes to this whole section, you will see this here. Now, you can upload before photos of your room, and then you can upload a vision of how you want the room to be like. And I'll show you how to do that very shortly. Now, here just breaks down each of the views where you see that this bedroom doesn't have a budget, so therefore it will go into the needs budget list right here. But once you've logged it, it will disappear and you'll no longer see it there. The room status just gives you an overview of where you are at each phase, but you can see that on the right hand side right here, and you can change them quite easily by tapping on that, and it will auto sync. The progress is just a direct correlation between the tasks that have been assigned to each room. As you can tell, we're almost done there, and this updates automatically. Now, when it comes to the mood board, you have 3 views. Now, this is just about the colors. So you can input the colors in one room and it will sync it here automatically. Now, these are toggles which you can close and open, so you don't have to see anything that you don't want to see. Now, this gives you an overview of all the information that you've inputted into the mood board, and it gives you a quick overview. and it shows you all the items that you have approved. Let's move on to the inspiration. Same again on the left hand side. This just shows you the mood board and your shopping list, but you've got different categories here, and if anything hasn't been assigned, you'll see in the no mood board category, which you will have to select accordingly. Now everything that you've shortlisted will be here, and this just is the complete category of all the items that are in the mood board. Let's say if you found something on Pinterest, you can input the information here, but I'd advise you not to do that exactly here. I'll show you how to do that inside of the space itself. And here you are, you can browse per room and you see everything in plain sight. Let's talk about the refund section here. So when you choose to buy an item and you want to refund it, you have to select the refund status, and it will automatically sync here as long as you select how many days are remaining and the actual purchase date, and it will deduct it from itself and then give you a countdown, so you never ever forget to return anything and waste any money. I'll give you an example. So with the shopping list right here, you've got the buy list and a variety of different properties which you can log this information when you do open up the room specifically. Now this button is really important because it will automatically log the purchase and then it will go into the order tracking. So this just tracks everything that you've purchased, and then it will start to deduct it from the actual budget that you've made for the room. Now refunds, quite self-explanatory. You can see it has different properties here. So because you haven't bought the item yet, it won't show you the order number, but once you've purchased it, it will move to order tracking and you will have to input this information because it is relevant. We'll use an example. Let's just say we like our pen. Shall log the purchase and it will move to the order tracking. There we are, right there. And if you want to type in the relevant information, you can upload your receipt. If you don't have it, you can use your Google Drive link and add it that way, and say cash refund days. We have 28 days remaining, and you can see everything has been logged. Now, for whatever reason, if we feel like we need to refund it for whatever reason, then we can tap on here and the status needs to be changed to the refund. Once it does, then the default will be, as you can see, it's updated right here. The refund will be to request. This allows you to keep track of the refund process, which has different steps. There's one thing I do need to do is a little lesson for you, because this is not the right way round. I will choose to make sure that it is sorted correctly. There we are. Wonderful. There's a little tip for you as well. Now, if you've noticed, because we have chosen to get a refund, it's actually moved from the ordered to the actual refund there. And because we tapped on the log purchase button, it logged the date that you purchased the item, so you don't need to double type the information. Everything is synced. So let's move on to the tasks. Now here you have, similar to the dashboard, but you have more views in plain sight. You got 1, 2, along with all of these. And when something is overdue in the actual task page, it will become red. For instance, if we just change that and say, look, it's actually due today, it would disappear and it will go into the due today. And when you type in your task, which I'll show you very shortly, along with how to add a space, the information will get synced in this Heisenhower. Always mess up with the pronunciation of this, to be fair. But you'll see, if you have ADHD like me, you have complete clarity of what you're doing, what needs to be delegated, and what you just need to remove completely if you're on a mission to make sure that the space that you design is top tier. Let me show you how to create a space. Now, before we go ahead and create a space, I'll show an example of what that space would look like when you have typed in all the information. This pops up as a center peak, but you can change the settings. So it opens up as full page or a side peak if you really want, but open up as full page. And as you can see, the details are all logged. So the spaces is the anchor which holds all of the details and allows it to sync across the whole of the system, which avoids you double typing this information. As you can tell, your one should look like this at the end, and this is very specific to this room, so you can keep track of the details. So we go back to spaces. Now we want to create one. So let's just say we want the kids room, and the stage at the moment, say we're measuring, and we've got 500 bucks to create it. Now all of my products work on the free plan to avoid any restriction for anyone who chooses to buy my products. Now, because it's a free plan, you don't have access to Notion's AI capabilities to their full potential. But in this example, I'm just going to create a vision of how I want the room to look like, which also shows you Notion's capabilities when it comes to AI. So create an image, photo. Whilst that's cooking in the background, we go ahead and fill out this information. Now, when you do this, please, you need to type in the minimum amount of information so it filters across the system, such as target date. And everything that you see me filling in is relevant. Okay. Now, objective, whatever it may be. Now, these are controlled by toggles. So bearing in mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the minimum amount of information that you need to type in about this room. Now, these are hidden, which you don't need to see right now. And you have different toggles which you can open and close so you don't see anything. This right here are formulas, so you do not touch that. If you do touch that, there's no guarantee that I'm able to fix it for you because I told you not to do it. So what this is an accumulation of all of the materials that you have chosen to buy, and this is just accumulation of the labor cost per room. So you'll see it logged right there, and this would give you an outcome of the budget because it would deduct it accordingly. Now we can see we've got a nice little photo here. If you choose to download it, then you're able to put that in the after image because it's the vision that you see for this room. So there we have it right there. If I just quickly go out of this space and show you, there you are there. And if you want to go to the home page, you will see it right there. You can type in relevant measurements of that room here, all of your shopping for this room. When it comes to adding your inspiration, which is part of the mood board, let's just say we want to add the curtain, and because you've created the inspiration from the actual space page, it will automatically log this information here, so you don't need to double type it. Image, we'll have some pink curtains instead for the sake of this video. And if you do find the product online, let's say Pinterest or wherever, you can upload it right there. And for the sake of showing you this here, you need to make sure you select it accordingly, and then it syncs right there. Mid placement, let's say walls. If we choose to actually press this button, it will approve it right there, but it doesn't mean we bought the product. Now you can see the status is purchase, but it doesn't affect this just yet because we haven't actually purchased the product. This avoids you calculating information which isn't there, which doesn't give you an accurate. If I wanted to go ahead and purchase this, to type in the relevant information or fill in, let's say there, and the quantity to pay close attention to this one here, and you've got, let's say they're $80 each. And if I press this, it will move it to the order tracking section and update the status to ordered, but also it deducts it from our budget, so we keep a close eye on it. So now I need somebody to actually hang the curtains. Now this is empty, but go over here and then you add that task. Bearing in mind, if you do not get inspiration online, you don't have to go through the process of adding this. You can just go directly to add in the shopping item if you find it inside of a store. Now let's say I need to hang some curtains, and you can see it's registered. Who's doing it? Let's say the decorator, because he's multi-talented. Bearing in mind, you have all these pre-loaded trades, so you don't have to double type information. I want it done next week, and you click on this toggle and you want schedule, and I'll show you exactly how that filters into the system later on. And you need to install and the actual cost of this. Now let's say they're going to charge me 150 bucks. You can see the total labor is right there. So, and it's also updated the budget check. Voila. Isn't that wonderful? So you can see this is the minimum amount of information that you need to type in. And don't forget to update the status, because this will have an effect upon the pillars such as the task and obviously what to do today. Let's just do this for example. Like, we want to get this done today so I can show you how it will be on the main page. Which, look, hang curtains, there you are, absolutely wonderful. So every product that I have comes with an onboarding guide, and you can see where you have simple tabs and it breaks down step by step how it works. You can also get support from me, and you can join my community if you've actually purchased this. Okay, now bearing in mind the price will not stay the same, it only increases from here, so it's the cheapest you're going to get it. Once you got it, grab it, and I'll see you on the other side. If you need any help, just join the community and I'll be there to assist you.